Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Destiny 2. Today we're just going to try and kind of go over the new exotic trailer and give our thoughts and opinions and stuff like that. If you watched my video yesterday, this won't be a surprise to you. So, we'll start with weapons. And we'll start with the obvious one, No Time to Explain. No Time to Explain it has the same perks that it had in Destiny 1 when it went exotic, but it's got some new stuff too. So you still get your ammo back on a precision hit, which is, I believe, the only thing that it had in D1, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But now you also get ammo back on enemies affected by stasis, and if you rapidly kill enemies affected by stasis, it creates a sort of warlock, like rift style, I don't know, buddy to follow you around. Yeah, that. It creates a little almost Arc Soul thing that follows you around. The catalyst for it also increases the fire rate of the little Arc Soul buddy that you get. So, who wants to start with this one?
I think it's a pretty cool concept, like the whole, you get ammo or whatever from a different like timeline or whatever. I think that's pretty cool.
It's very thematically appropriate.
Yeah, I think Bungie is really doing well with their like the new stuff. Like, it's not just the same old stuff reskinned or whatever anymore. It's actual new stuff with new perks. I like that.
Yeah. Reese?
Yeah, I mean, when I watched that trailer, I thought that was really cool. But it seemed like it was almost triggered with the grenade, but I don't think that's true. But it just seemed like that how they played it. But it would be interesting to get our hands on that on the gun and see how it actually works out. If it's really super helpful, or maybe not. But I imagine it will be. So yeah, I'm excited.
I worry it's gonna fall victim to the same fate that every other gun without a straight damage perk falls victim to, which is just that people will use it for a week and then it'll get vaulted forever.
Yeah. There's always better exotic. Unless it turns out to be the best one, who knows?
Well, you should theoretically get your hands on it pretty early because it's one of the pre-order incentives. And I've already pre-ordered. I know you have, Reese, and I'm sure you will, Chini, here probably in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, once I get some monies.
That is always the issue. So, alright, we'll move on to the second one, which is called Cloud Strike, which is the sniper rifle.
I'm so excited.
Precision hits generate a lightning strike. Rapid precision hits generate a storm around the area, is the perk, from what I understand.
Oh yeah. I am
really
excited for this one. It's like Thunderlord from a distance.
That's actually a pretty good way of describing it.
Yeah, so excited. It's just something that I kind of concerned about. I'm not the most accurate person, so I imagine the rapid precision hits is going to be difficult for me to hit, but when I do hit it, I imagine it's going to be fantastic.
I think it's going to depend a lot on what archetype they give it. If they give it the Whisper style archetype, the super slow firing one, I think that might be a problem. If it's more like, what is this gun called? I've got it in my inventory. More Supremacy style, yeah, super rapid fire, then I think it'll be pretty easy to trigger. I think it also depends on whether they make it a heavy or special ammo sniper. If they make it a heavy ammo sniper, I think that'll just kill it before it even gets here.
Yeah.
I would guess that it's probably going to be a heavy sniper, just because that's a pretty awesome perk to have for just a special sniper.
It did seem pretty effective in the trailer, gotta admit. So
what I'm wondering is, like in the trailer when it showed the they got the headshot in Crucible, and then the other two died from the lightning. I wonder if they were actually like full health, or if they were both partially damaged.
Yeah, I wonder that too. Bungie does that a lot in their trailers and makes it really hard to tell how viable it actually will be.
Yeah, there was a concern in a video that I watched on the trailer, and yeah, he voiced, were they wounded or were they full health? So
Yeah. Oh, the next one's fun. The Lament Sword.
ooh man.
So this is basically designed purely to just shred barrier champions. You hold the block button to rev the blade, and at full revs, from what I understand, you can just go straight through a barrier champion's shield.
Yeah, I think it looks cool, but barrier champions, in my opinion, are like the easiest one to kill. So I'm kind of wondering how that's all gonna, like, if it's actually gonna be useful, or if it's gonna be another one of those throw it to the side exotics.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool concept, but I'm just wondering what the actual usage of it is going to be, or practicality.
I think it's going to depend a lot on how long you have to rev the blade.
Yeah.
Although I will... Go ahead.
And also, like, with the Dark Drinker 2.0,
That would be Falling
I know.
Guillotine for anyone who did not play Destiny 1.
yeah. For me, anyway, that's, like, my favorite heavy weapon right now. Unless I need a ranged one, then it is Xenophage. But, like, I don't feel many people are going to want to give that up for another one. Unless it does, like, outperform my expectations.
Yeah. The only thing I will grant it is it looks like Bungie made a custom set of sword animations just for this sword from the trailer.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it looked like the saw teeth like ran like a chainsaw, so it was pretty neat.
Do you have any opinions on it, Reese?
I think it's gonna be, pretty useful. I mean, for me, I solo the dungeon a lot, and barrier champions can be problematic. So yeah, if I can just run up on them and obliterate them like that, that'd be fantastic. But in general, if it's just a powerful sword, I think that'd be really, really cool. We don't have an exotic sword right now, do we? No, we don't. So, oh no, yeah, we do. We have Black Talon, and then
We have
Worldline.
several
They're not
exotic
really-
swords.
Yeah,
Just
they're
no
not really
meta
heavy.
exotic swords.
Yeah, they're not heavy hitters. See, I didn't even remember them. That's how like non-meta they are. So yeah, I mean, if it's really effective, I think this could be a hit. I enjoy swords, so yeah, but I'm excited for it. Definitely want to get my hands on it.
Yeah, unless Bungie nerf swords in their sandbox tuning, swords are always going to be pretty meta damage weapons against most
Yeah.
things. So I think even if it's not the greatest, I'm sure it will still get some use. Just because it's new, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright, and then the last weapon, I think, as far as I know, is the Salvation's Grip, which is the stasis grenade launcher.
Ooh. This
Yeah.
thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's giving me some what's that gun from Black Ops where you like stick your arm inside of it? Or the zombies,
Oh, yeah, from
Yeah.
ages ago.
Yeah, Mob of the no, I don't know what it is. It was
The freaking Cthulhu gun. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't remember the
weird.
name of it, but I know which one you're talking about.
tentacles. It was the wonder weapon, and it was so cool. It gives me those kind of vibes, but like futuristic, and it's super cool. And I think it's cool that they're implementing stasis in not only our subclasses but weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I worry because from the trailer, it didn't look like the first grenade they fired did damage. And I know it says you can charge the gun to do more damage or something like that. But if the normal grenades just don't do damage and are just for stasis, the gun's fate is going to entirely depend on how reliant the meta is on stasis being
Yeah.
a thing. Alright. We'll go on to armor. We'll start with warlocks, just because they're the first ones I have written down. Dawn Chorus. So this is the Warlock helmet that gives you improved burn damage and daybreak damage. Chinny, you're a resident Warlock main. Thoughts on this?
I mean, it looks cool. Yeah, Dawnblade isn't really a very DPS kind of thing, so I like that they're trying to give it more of a buff in that aspect. Yeah, I don't know. Looks cool. I hope it does well.
I think if it can work with, is it Top Tree that I use for my Sunbracers build, Chinny? Do you know?
I believe that is...
Is that the one with Heat Rising?
One. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if it works with that, I'll probably give it a try on my Warlock. If it doesn't, and it's just for a specific block of the subclass, I probably won't ever equip it. Although it does look pretty dope, I will give it that.
Yeah.
Necrotic Grips, the Thorn Poison Gauntlets.
Those, I think, are awesome.
Yeah, the concept behind them is pretty dope. I worry, though, because Bungie is always super hesitant to put high damage over time or high damaged AoE things into the game. So,
yeah.
If the damage isn't there, no one's going to use them, is the thing.
Yeah. I mean, if it would be like a good ad clear kind of thing, that would be like perfect in my opinion, because like how we were talking earlier, like we're kind of wondering how stasis is kind of like a crowd control thing, like how Bungie is going to make that useful, or like make that so it's implemented into the game. So maybe if it's a good ad clear thing, that would be good. But maybe not take out ultras, or yeah, majors and ultras, is that the word?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worry though, because if they overdo it too much, then it's going to be a PvP nightmare. So I think Bungie's going to end up erring on the side of caution, which I think will just result in it not doing enough damage in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the trailer there, the chaining effects. I mean, it looked like it pulsed 3 times. You know, the beginning and then the second and then a third. So I'm wondering if it like just completely chains. I don't know, like forever or what.
Well,
but
I
didn't
think
the
it's
description read that it spreads through, like it continues chaining, like.
I think you can poison a target, and then if you kill that target, I think it pulses and poisons other targets. Kind of like how Wither Horde works. So I think as long as you keep killing poison targets, it'll keep pulsing, maybe, is kind of how it works.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for ad clear, I mean, if you get a bunch of thralls, oh my goodness, just drop them all. I mean, even like dregs and acolytes. I don't think they'll stand much of a chance unless they're like yellow bars, but I think it's a really cool concept, and I think that's kind of something we're kind of hungry for, something more like area of effect, and like Witherhoard. I think Witherhoard was a good hit, and this is kind of playing on that. So.
Yeah. Alright. I guess we'll move on to Hunters. The Mask of Bakris replaces your dodge with essentially a teleport. Thoughts on that?
I think it looks a little bit different to me, being a hunter main, and really, it reminds me of Blink for warlocks, but without height. It's just kind of like forward. It seemed like in that little shot on the trailer there, but something I noticed, like you completely disappear, which is kind of relative to Blink also. So, and
yeah,
like I think the Titan threw a hammer at the hunter, didn't do damage, killed his friend right next to him, and then the hunter came up and murdered the Titan. So I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting how that actually works when you get it equipped and start playing with it. I think it has potential to be more useful than the current dodge.
Not that the current dodge is not useful. It's probably
No.
one of the best abilities in the game. I think this is going to be a PvP nightmare for anyone but a hunter.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Bungie does like to give their hunters stuff for PvP, in my opinion.
The hunters have so many movement-based exotics already that are so good. It doesn't seem... excuse me. It doesn't seem necessary to give them another one, in my opinion. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good. It looks fun. I'm sure it'll perform well. And I'm sure a lot of hunters are going to use it. So,
Oh yeah.
now,
People gonna be raging.
Yeah. The other one for the hunter, and I have no idea how to pronounce this, so I'm just going to give it a shot. Athresa's Embrace. I feel like this is the polar opposite of the one we just talked about. I don't think anyone's going to use this. What it does is it gives your weighted throwing knife a second ricochet.
Yeah. I can't remember ever intentionally using ricochet on my weighted throwing knife, and I use it quite often. So I don't know what the second ricochet is going to do. I imagine it's going to be some people trying to pull off trick shots for some YouTube videos.
Yeah, I think it's going to fall victim to the same fate that the... Are they Antaeus Swords, the Titan boots that let you slide and create a shield? I think it's going to be a montage exotic, and basically that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first week, pull it out, make some cool clips, and then kind of move on with the rest of the season.
The only way I can see it being viable is if it like somehow got like tracking or something like that.
I know it does increase your melee damage, so maybe in PvE a little bit if you build around it super hard, but I just don't think it'll be. I don't think it's going to be as big of a hit. I think the other one, the helmet, is going to be the new hunter exotic that we see everywhere, and I don't think we're going to see hardly anyone use this thing.
Yeah.
Alright, Titans. Bungie is super adamant about taking overshields out of the game, and then immediately putting exotics back in for Titans that give them overshields. So we'll start with Icefall Mantle, the exotic gauntlets. They replace your Titan barricade with just a straight-up overshield.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite used a lot.
Yeah, I think it's going to depend on how strong the overshield is and how long the cooldown for it is. If it gives you the standard barricade cooldown, and it gives you like a one-eyed mask style overshield, you're going to see this thing everywhere, and it is going to be a PvP nightmare. And then it's going to get nerfed. So, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I feel like this one's going to wind up coming out really strong and getting nerfed into the ground the way One-Eyed Mask did. Not that the One-Eyed Mask nerfs were not warranted, but...
It's probably going to be like Rage Use Harness for the Hunter when it came out, and it's just going to be disabled. That's already too broken. Someone got to use it for 5 minutes, and then they were like, nope, retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope, because Bungie has a history of doing that with the drop something and it's either really underpowered or really overpowered. I hope that stuff is actually tuned, especially since they delayed it 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. This could potentially also, if it does come out broken, it is going to make Trials a nightmare. Even more so than it already is with all the cheaters.
Yep.
Both of the Titan exotics, actually, I can see are going to make Trials kind of a pain. The other one is the Precious Scars helmet, which when you revive someone, or I think are revived, it creates an area where you and any of your team in the area get an overshield.
Yeah, I think that's going to be used in PvE a lot and quite effectively.
PvE or PvP?
PvE.
Oh. Yeah, the big factor as to how good this exotic is going to be is the radius that you can be away from the person who is generating the shield and still acquire the shield.
Yeah. And I think another factor is kind of going to be your teammates' awareness. If you're just, random queuing with everybody and you don't have comms or anything, I mean, are they going to even know that you have this exotic on? I mean, you're going to res them, and the deal is you need to be near them, and I think they're just going to run off and have no idea what's going on. they're just gonna think, oh, it's just the respawn or the res shield you get, and they're just gonna run off, and I think maybe the effectiveness is gonna be, not noticed.
Yeah. Alright. That was, I think, everything they showed in the trailer. Notably missing was Hawkmoon.
Yeah.
Still kind of waiting to see what Bungie does with that. I really hope, because Hawkmoon deserves so much better than this, but it really worries me that they're going to pull this, because I guarantee it would drive sales. Hawkmoon is the Season Pass weapon.
See, I was thinking that the barrier sword would be, because that's been kind of a theme for them, is to introduce like the Season Pass exotic, make it so that
It's a champion weapon.
yeah, a champion weapon. That's what I'm trying to get out.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I hope so. Genuinely, if they make Hawkmoon the Season Pass exotic, that's going to be sad. Hawkmoon deserves so much more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least give it some sort of, what do you want to call it, value. You're just gonna give it to everybody, if it's a season pass. So.
But I can guarantee if they did put it at the Season Pass, it would drive sales. So
Probably so. Yeah, that's a good point.
See, I'm
that's
really
some motivation
hoping
there.
that it's going to be like a random, like kind of 0-hour type thing. You just kind of,
oh, like a hidden mission?
yeah, hidden quest. That would be so cool in my opinion.
I mean, I really think they could do something really neat with, a quest to get that weapon as well. So that's definitely something that I hope they considered.
Yeah.
It's definitely a gun that everyone has wanted back. But they have a tricky balancing act because they don't want Luck in the Chamber to be a thing anymore. So they can't put Luck in the Chamber on it, but that was kind of the gun's whole identity.
Yeah.
So now they're going to have to change the gun and then figure out a way to get the gun into players' hands. They're going to have to do a really good job with Hawkmoon, or it's going to... people are not going to be happy with it.
Yeah, especially the D1 vets.
Yeah. What about the raid exotic? The only exotic I can see that they've shown that maybe could be the raid exotic would be the grenade launcher, because it's the only one with a direct link to stasis.
Yeah.
But I also
I
don't know if they would.
show the raid exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine they're keeping a couple things hidden. They're not showing us their entire hand.
I hope so, because otherwise it's... I mean,
Yeah.
it's 4 new guns and 6 new armor pieces. That's not a lot for a major expansion.
Yeah.
It's still more than we got in Shadowkeep, but it's not a lot.
What was the Forsaken kind of bundle? What was going on? I wasn't there for Forsaken when it dropped.
Forsaken had a lot.
Just a ton of
Yeah.
exotics.
It was
Yeah.
big. There was a lot of stuff in Forsaken. I don't think Beyond Light is going to be as big as Forsaken, though, because Forsaken was developed when they still had Activision backing them, and they had 2 extra studios.
Yeah. And
Yep.
coronavirus, the pandemic, wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say something and I've completely forgotten.
We were talking
We
about
are
Beyond
getting,
Light.
yeah, we are getting the Cosmodrome too, so that is
Are we-
also, and they haven't shown any of that yet.
Well, today in the TWAB, they showed a little bit of it, but... are we getting that at Beyond Light, or is that coming out just after Beyond Light?
I thought we were getting it with it, but I could be completely wrong.
We might be. I can't remember, to be honest.
I sure hope it's coming with it.
Actually, you know what? It probably is, because they were talking about wanting to improve the New Light experience. So that would make sense. Yeah. I wonder what they're going to do with Aldrin.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Cosmodrome vendor.
Well, I thought that too until today's TWAB when they were talking about that new guy. I assume now he's going to be the Cosmodrome vendor.
Who's the new guy?
I can't remember his name. Reese, can you? I think you read it most recently. I want to say Shaw, something Shaw.
Oh, the Guardian from the campaign.
Yeah.
Shahan. Shahan.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be kind of like a Soraya Hawthorne type character.
Oh, so
Just
useless.
like a introduction to the game and then bye bye forever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of.
What about the ghost changes? You guys have any thoughts on that? Have you heard? You both aware of this?
How the ghost has mods now.
Yeah, the ghost will have power and mod slots, or not power. It won't have power, like it won't affect your light, but it'll have like mod slots and stuff.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
More mods, more better.
Yeah. Well, the mods are gonna be ghost specific mods, like we have now, basically, from what I understand.
Like, maybe
Like planetary cache detectors and stuff like
Sparrow
that.
summoning.
Yeah, maybe.
Or, I think isn't that directly related to the Sparrow itself now? I think it used to be on the Ghost, but now I think it's just related to Sparrow.
You can have it on both. I have a Sparrow that
Oh.
has the quick summon thing, and also a Ghost that does.
Ah,
Yeah. I think it's good. I know Bungie said the only ghost in the game that would not get it is the Generalist shell, and people immediately started a petition to have the Generalist shell have it too.
really?
Freaking Destiny community are a bunch of petulant children sometimes.
Yeah.
But I guess some people just like the basic white ghost shell.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, more customization, the better. So, yeah.
Yeah, which I think will work well with the new subclass layout that they've got going on.
Do you think, I know you're kind of running the show here, but I just kind of want to ask this question. I don't know if
You
it's
can
on
ask
your
questions
list
if
or
you
not.
want.
Do you think that, whose side do you think that, what's his name, Varix will be on? You think he'll be on our side, or you think he's going to be on the dark side?
I think he's going to be on our side purely because one of the like opening things that they did when they revealed the map of Europa was it showed a comms tower and it said this is a location that Varric sent you the distress signal from, which makes me think he's going to be on our side.
Yeah.
But
I think so too. I think he'll probably be the vendor of Europa.
him or the
Either
stranger.
him or, yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Speaking of the map of Europa, that was the next thing on my list. Chini, I know you've seen it. Reese, have you seen it?
I haven't looked through it myself, but I saw it on a fellow video, and I didn't get a good glimpse of it, but it looks big. That's really all I got.
Yeah, I think it's going to be probably moon-sized would be my guess. Maybe a little bigger.
Yeah, that's fair, but I guess, yeah, the moon is really deep as well, so yeah, it's kind of the same principle.
Yeah. I wish we got more than one new strike. The strike playlist is so boring, and now they're taking out strikes, and
Yeah. It is really boring, I can confirm that. But I guess, are they leaving that new strike that they put on IO? I hope so, because even though IO's going away, the Festering Core, the one they
it's gone
just
away.
brought in, really?
Mhm.
Wow. Because that one is actually a new and refreshing one. I've probably only done it maybe 10 times.
Yeah,
which
it
is
doesn't show
cool.
up very often for some reason.
Yeah. So that is sad.
The storms and thermal scopes, do you guys have opinions on that? About how you're not going to be able to see anything on Europa sometimes?
I
Really?
like that they're changing it up. I feel like it's going to get annoying at some points, but you just got to deal with it, I guess.
Yeah. I think the concept is dope. I'm all for them adding more difficulty to the game, because God knows it needs it.
Yeah.
No matter what form that difficulty comes in. I hope it's not to a point where it's just like, well, storm's here, might as well log out for a while.
Yeah, that would be tough.
I think we've talked about this a little bit in a past kind of one of these, but the thoughts on raid bosses becoming world bosses now, or just standard enemies. I'm specifically talking about the little insurrection primes everywhere. I think it's kind of sad that they had to demote a raid boss to just a world enemy.
Yeah. I mean, I like that there's new stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see when we get there. Because, yeah, I'm just
Well,
babbling.
there was a new there was the new Vex enemy that I saw in the
Yeah, the weird looking like
yeah, it's
Minotaur
like
Harpy combo.
Yeah, Harpy Minotaur. So, I mean, there's a new enemy there.
There are new
yeah.
enemies. Like, we know some of the Fallen have the same stasis abilities that we're apparently going to learn to use.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually cool. I think it's interesting that we're not inherently more powerful than the enemy that we fight.
Yeah. And the idea is to embrace the darkness, which our enemies are using this, and so then we are also using it and embracing it.
Yeah.
Which is really their whole thing behind this expansion.
That was kind of the end of the list of things I had to talk about. I guess we could talk about the weapon mods getting their specific requirement removed.
Yeah, I am so glad that's happening, because I find it very annoying having to go through all of my armor to get the right mods that I want. And, like, half the time I don't remember what, like, archetype, or, yeah, like, what archetype I need, and it bothers me. Then I, like, switch one, and I switch it to the wrong thing, and then I just have to spend more materials.
Yeah, that and the raid mod slots. I think Bungie's doing a good job with that.
Yeah.
I don't think
also like
anyone
that
will
they're
have any
leaving
complaints about it.
Yeah, I also like that they're leaving the Charge with Light and, like, the Rasputin mods, the Warmind Self mods. I'm glad that they're making them so that they can be used universally now.
Yeah. Do you still have to have a Seraph weapon or an Icolos weapon to use them?
Yes,
Yeah.
but you can equip the mod on any armor piece. Oh, I went the wrong way. Wait. Oh, I went past it. I'm a silly goose.
What about the fact that the Taken mods and all the specific enemy mods, I've seen that the Taken mods are only working in Last Wish, and then the Hive and the Fallen mods are getting decreased on how effective they are.
I think they're getting just depreciated because they were for raids that are going away. Honestly, I'm fine with it. We talked about this a little bit before I started recording, guys. It kind of gives raid armor, or I guess not even specifically raid armor, because I think all armor gets the raid mod slot, but it gives raid mods a more useful... I don't really know how to describe this. Someone else take this from me.
I don't know, it just makes it so that the mods you get from the raid help you do the raid easier again.
It's very Destiny 1 raid armor-esque.
Yeah, which I personally like. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, of course it's nice to be able to, like, use these buffs on other enemies in the open world, and that's the first throw when the bubble went away.
Yep.
And, yeah, I mean, I don't know, kind of like it, kind of don't, but it is what it is, and you gotta deal with it, I guess, so.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, honestly. I think it's fine. I'm not gonna complain about it.
Yeah.
I think Bungie has a better understanding of how mods should work than I do, and I've honestly never really not liked any of their mod decisions. So I'm fine with it.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, I mean, I brought it up, but I just saw it, it was being talked about, and it's happening. I never use those mods. I think I have them, I mean, I raid like a mofo, but I don't think I've ever put on a Taken mod or a Hive mod, and you know, I've done just fine without them, I think. So
I think the only one I've ever put on was right when I started doing Crown. I think I put the Crown mods on, and then immediately realized that I was better off just doing generic reloader mods, and took them off, and I don't think I've ever put them on since. Why are there so many cursed thrall in here? Yeah, I think that's everything, unless you guys have anything else that I've forgotten, or that you want to talk about.
oh, I don't think so.
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Alright. Well, I know there's a sandbox changes coming in the next couple weeks, guys, so we'll probably do another one of these talking about that at some point.
110s.
Yeah, 110s, and just, I think the general sandbox, I think they're just going to discuss it, so...
Yeah.
Until then, though, I will thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.